Hello and welcome from the Ford Center, where on a Wednesday, the Big 12 men's basketball tournament kicks off for the first time. Barry Tramel along with John Rohde. And John, how do you think the new format's going to go? Starting on a Wednesday, finishing on a Saturday night.
I like it a lot. I love the Saturday finish for the men. They can rest up. Usually, Barry, they were done by 5 o'clock on a Sunday. They find out where they go, and then suddenly they're on a plane ride to where they're headed. So I think that one day is going to make a big difference for the men.
Also gives the NCAA Selection Committee more time to study the Big 12 resumes. Often the Big 12 title game finished around 4:15. Selections come out at 5 o'clock. That's not a lot of time. Let's get right to the ball games. The big dogs aren't playing today. They've got the byes: Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas State. Who's your favorite, John?
Well, I think we're going to go with Oklahoma. Hopefully the home crowd will show up. Kansas is playing well, but Kansas isn't as good at full strength as OU is at full strength.
Well, Missouri, to me, is a little bit of a dark horse. Missouri's rode a lot of emotion at Kansas City over the years. Now they're in a foreign environment. What about the Tigers?
This isn't Mizzou Arena. If this thing were at Mizzou Arena, I'd love the Tigers. But they are playing well, and they play at a breakneck speed. And you bring up a great point. They get hot. Who can keep up with them? Baylor gets hot. Who can keep up with them? By Baylor's own admission, they're playing like quote-unquote trash, is what Curtis Gerald said.
Dark horses in the tournament. At 4 teams tied for 4th: Kansas State, Texas, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma State. Of those 4 teams, John, who do you like the best?
Well, I like Texas the best, and they played well. They played well for about 37 minutes up in Lawrence and almost beat the Jayhawks in the season finale. And let's face it, Barry, of those 4, they are the biggest underachievers to date.
Kansas State got the bye. Kansas State, of the 4, is the team on the outside looking in. Low RPI. Most people say they won't make the NCAA tournament. I like that Kansas State team. They got off to a bad start. I think they were 1-4 in conference, finished strong. Is Kansas State the kind of team that could make a run? This is a conference tournament that's never known for Cinderellas. The favorites, 1, 2, or 3, always win. Are we going to see a Cinderella this week?
K-State is better than expected. By the way, they were 0-4, so they got on a run there. When Beasley left and Walker left, I thought these guys are done. But they win the tiebreaker for the 4th seed. Texas loses another Big 12 tiebreaker. Imagine that. But they got some work to do, Barry. They got to get at least to Saturday to get on the bubble, I think.
And finally, Oklahoma State playing tonight, 6 o'clock against Iowa State. Are the Cowboys in with a victory? Is all they need to do to get into the NCAA tournament in that 4-year drought? Will they make it with a victory tonight?
Yeah, I agree with everything you wrote today about Travis Ford. If he's in the NCAA, it's definitely a success for him. Brackens, give them 30. Everybody else shut them down. They're on solid footing right now, but they could really mess that up, Barry, with a big loss to Iowa State today.
And finally, full slate of games today: Nebraska, Baylor, Texas, Colorado, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, and then finally Texas Tech, Texas A&M. Any upsets on the first day of menu?
I don't know if Baylor's an upset, but you never know when they're going to get hot. But that's the most iffy game, and it should be, Barry. It's 8 versus 9.
All right, that's it from the Ford Center. Stay tuned for full coverage of the Big 12 tournament on newsok.com as well as in the Oklahoman.